Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, all of our colleagues. I want to share my screen firstly. Okay. I want to share my screen, please.
Backend team, please make Doctor as co-host. Dr. Sevgi as co-host.
Okay. Do you see my screen?
Yes, Doctor, wait a moment. They are making arrangement. Please make Dr. Sevgi as co-host.
Okay. I explained homeopathic situation and homeopathic history of Turkey before my speech 4 months ago. Now I explain my viewpoint about homeopathy in this evening. And I hope now I'm share screen now. It's okay?
Yes, Doctor. It's
yes,
okay.
It's whispered.
Yes.
Şey yapamadım slide. Yes, okay. And I want to share about some things. First of all, thanks for International Forum for promoting homeopathy. Mainly, I want to think that homeopathy is a holistic medicine because patients is individual, remedy is individual, disease is individual, at the end, therapy is individual. And our way, treatment way, it is a holistic. And what are the problems? I see that, or are thinking that we have mainly two basic problems. One of them, social and political problems. It means external problems. The others belong to the homeopathic world, our problems, internal problems. For example, understanding different perspective about success rate or any others. But we know that homeopathy is a science. Homeopathy is a science because homeopathy has a theory, homeopathy has a data and development. And what is the homeopathic theory? I think that the homeopathic theory is very beautiful because very simple. Simple things is a beautiful because they have some very good, some laws and some rules. Law of similarity, law of minimum dose, law of potencies, law of classification, and it is very good rule, Herring's rules. We have all of them, homeopathic theory. And homeopathic data, our data is materia medica, and at the same time, repertory, our main data. But materia medica, very chaotic, very complex, and remembering we have difficulties for remembering. And I think that we need good provings again, some remedies or maybe most remedies. And the homeopathy, the other main issue, development. Development, coming cast need new provings, clearing mistakes, all of mistakes in our materia medica, and at the same time, repertories. And we come to today, the homeopathy, they have new standpoints. Classification, for example, sense or structure or any other families or another thinking. And all of them only in our mind. And I think that it is new theorizing the homeopathy, other side of homeopathy. At the same time, homeopathy development and in parallel with science development. If the science development, we saw the science development, and at the same time, we will see homeopathic development. We know in the beginning of history, from in the beginning of history to time, unconnected facts and observation, and after that we experience and then make a theory and interaction each other's, all of the science interaction each other's. Unconnected facts before Heinemann. And Heinemann has the beginner of the really good observation and later experience and later homeopathic theory. But individual problems, what is the individual problems? We have a lot of homeopath has the same problem. Disappointed as a homeopath. For example, some wonderful results or some inadequate or poor results, and then we are disappointed as a homeopath. Or I think that good or not as a good homeopath. And a lot of question in our minds. And then later we come to homeopathy is not good enough. It is very big problem. But I noticed that all of this question, because of we are forgetting something. For example, forgotten basic laws and basic rules. We must study organon and again organon, and enough encouraging things we have later. And I want to see a pandemic to another pandemic. What is change? I think that there is nothing change. Heinemann in the 19th century, in Leipzig typhus epidemic, he said in Materia Medica Pura, of 183 cases treated by me in Leipzig, not one died, which created a great sensation among the Russians then ruling in Dresden, but was consigned to oblivion by the medical authorities. I want to ask all of you, what is change? I noticed that there is no change. But benefits of IFPH, and it is wonderful. Wonderful. We will be in pandemic situation. We will be connected, and we talk about and these meetings after we are connecting and communicating about homeopathy and make new networks and relationships. And we have a chance to learn what is happening in other countries and in Turkey at the same time. We understand in homeopathy, we must study evidence-based medicine to survive. We really important point. And online meetings and exchange of information was held between homeopaths in Turkey and across the world. I hope this will give us a chance to collaborate in the future, make good things for homeopathy. And I congratulate your 200th day, and this is the tremendous and inspiring event that reached most countries with International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Thanks all organizing committee members, thanks all participants, thanks, deeply hearted thanks, Dr. Samuel Heinemann. And when you are drinking a cup of Turkish coffee and Turkish delight, I invite our colleague and our patients, and they explain their feelings and experiences. First, I want to invite Irmak Bayındır. She is a yoga teacher at the same time and using homeopathy, and now her experiences. Yes, Irmak. Irmak, unmute, please unmute.
Hi, merhaba. I've been taking homeopathic medications for a long time, like almost 12 years now. And the first time I started it because my mom was a pharmacist and she was studying homeopathy, and she was basically a bit skeptical about it. And she said, why don't you go and try it out and see if it's going to work with you or not? And when I started it, I had migraines, allergies, some swollen joints, and I was not expecting, like, the first intake was like almost 2.5 hours, and my homeopath Sevgi Hanım asked gazillions of questions, and it was the first time where a doctor actually listened and asked many questions about my illnesses and my backgrounds. And when I got my first remedy, I went back home. I remember it like it was yesterday, and everything just like popped up, like all the pain, all my ex injury, like even my decayed tooth, it was aching. My migraine was just going mental. And my mom was just like, sleep on it in the morning, you're going to be fine. And then I remember waking up the next morning, and it was like the first time in my life that I was really happy waking up in the morning, because I was always like, I had very difficulty waking up in the mornings, and I didn't like the mornings at all. And it was the first day that I understood how someone can feel happy waking up. So it was just like a milestone in my experience. And then I kept on going to see my homeopath. And I, right now, like after 12 years, I feel more grounded, more centered, even if like there's chaos outside, like right now we have COVID everywhere. I feel still like safe, and I feel like I will never get COVID somehow. Like my brain is just like and very grounded, and basically it's just making me feel so calm and focused life for the things that I can do in life. I also had lots of like imaginary thoughts. Before I would get 30, I was gonna get like brain tumor, kind of like with nonsense of way of thinking. And now like I don't even have them, and I remember them like smiling at that. And I think it's just a huge change in the quality of a human being using homeopathic medication. I never used any other kind of medication after I met my doctor, Sevgi Hanım. And I'm just one of the lucky ones in Turkey to find a great homeopath, because I know some people are getting disappointed because it's a long journey, or because they cannot find that connection with their doctors. But I was so lucky and so happy to find my doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Erbak. Thank you very much. And now, Mert Pazarlıoğlu, he is a businessman and using homeopathy, and he lived some change his life after homeopathic treatment. Now he explained them. Yes, Mert.
Okay, I'm on mute now. Okay. So I started to take remedy 2 years ago with Mark's advice. It was at the beginning just to quit smoking, and like I just quit smoking in like 3 months. So I kept going with it, and I had a like serious eczema, and when I take the medicine, it just appears more. But like the more time I took it, it became less appeared. So like this is how I was seeing change when I was taking it. Also I was like, the first time I got convinced that it works, I had like vivid dreams when I took the night when I took it. like the same night. Before that, I was like skeptical about it. Like that convinced me that it works. I still don't know how exactly it works though, but like I got that feeling that it works because like I feel like I'm stronger and have better immune system in general. Like as she said, like I don't feel like I could get any harm from COVID, even if I caught it. And yeah, like I don't use any other medication, so that's the only thing that I use. And I believe that other than quitting smoking, it broke my addictive pattern. So like I don't bite my nails as much as I used to. Back to that, sometimes I'm just more aware of it, I believe. So I can stop it, like I can control it more. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Mert.
And thanks to Sevgi as well. Like,
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now, Duygu Akgör, she's a medical doctor and now a new mother, a wonderful girl baby. And it is her homeopathic story. Yes, Duygu.
Hello, homeopathy family. I'm Duygu Akgör. I'm 38 years old. Homeopathy treatment that started 2 years ago. Before starting homeopathy treatment, I was in a situation where anxiety and depression oscillated. I was feeling very helpless, pessimistic, sad, anxious, hopelessness. I was obsessed with past events, but could not solve, and living with low life energy. Therefore, I thought life was very difficult, and I was very weak and inadequate. I used antidepressants and anxiolytic drugs, but the problems are not solved. Therefore, I sought a permanent and effective treatment and searched for homeopathy on a recommendation. I met with Dr. Sevgi Postoğlu. After the first remedy application, I was shocked. The world became brighter, the colors became brighter, and I felt alive. My negative feelings and thoughts gradually degraded during the treatment. I feel stronger, energetic, clear-minded, hopeful, and I'm active in life. I gave birth 8 months ago and had a daughter. My daughter suffered from constipation in the newborn period. And this problem was corrected by the single dose remedy given to me. This is a miracle. I'm also a medical doctor, and in the future, I would like to study homeopathy and apply this miracle treatment method to patients. I would like to thank my doctor, Sevgi Postoğlu, and all of you who made great efforts to homeopathy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Duygu Akgör. I hope you will be a great homeopathy in future. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. And now,
Thank you.
Ayşe Ertuğrul. She's also a medical doctor, at the same time a homeopath, and using homeopathy in her life since 2013. and pandemic time is very difficult for her. She and her most of family members had COVID-19, and her father was very critically ill and stayed 4 months in the hospital, 2 months in intensive care unit, and treated with homeopathy at the same time. Now, he health is very good, and he is at home now. And now she explain all of them for you. Yes, Ayşe. Please explain your feeling and your experience.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Hello. Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes, continue, Ayşe.
Yes, ma'am, you can.
We can hear.
Okay. I'm Ayşe Vasfiye Ertuğrul. I'm a medical doctor, a general practitioner for 30 years. I was introduced to homeopathy about 10 years ago by one of my friends whom I love very much. The physical and psychological change in her first catch my attention. She was more lovely, active, and cheerful than before. Her eyes were shining. She was very comfortable and she enjoyed of life. When I asked what was going on, what the reason of this change, she told me about homeopathy and she said that I was very lucky that a course on homeopathy would start soon. My inner voice and curiosity told me it was worth learning. So 10 years ago, I went to the first homeopathy course on the morning of November 2011 with great excitement and joy. On the second day of the course, my husband was stiff on back. He was going to the toilet with force and pain. I gave him allopathic medicine in the morning and went to the course. But my mind was always at home. After the second lesson, I told my friend, another homeopathic doctor, Levent Puda, who was also my teacher, that I couldn't attend the lesson and I was worried about my husband at home and I left him in a bad condition. He told me to continue the course and that we could go home and take care of him between the course and he would give my husband homeopathic medicine. We went to see my husband and he listened to my husband and gave him the Rustox C30 watery potence that I was heard the first at that time, the name of the remedy, and told him to shake it and drink it when it was painful. He said to me, don't worry, he relaxed and sleep after a while and everything will be better when he wakes up. I thought, how could he be so sure? It sounded like a joke to me at that time. Those all happened in the morning and my husband said that he was okay. I went to the course again. Indeed, when I went home in the evening, my husband greeted me at the door and I couldn't believe my eyes. The man who crowded to the toilet in the morning was standing straight in front of me now. I said, this must be a magic. My husband is also a doctor. He's a pulmonologist and he has never used allopathic medicines since that day. He says, give me a homeopathic remedy whenever he has a back pain or another complaint. My homeopathic education, organized by the Classical Homeopathic Association, lasted about 3.5 years. I received invaluable training from the teachers. I went to the course, which was organized for in-teacher in Turkey. Gerhard Bloy, such as Gerhard Bloy, Alok Parekh, Farok Master, Yogesh Segal, Gudrun Tailman. The homeopathic education I received was the beginning of an era that will cause many things to change for me in my life. How does? Since I was a doctor, I would observe people and events with great care and I would categorize them as good or bad, right or wrong and judge them within myself. At the same time, I would criticize and get angry with myself for the things I did, the mistakes. I would be angry and hurt when people criticized me. However, I wouldn't show it very much. I would throw it in me and accumulates inside of me. Finally, it took out in a burst of anger. I couldn't easily forgive people for what they did. I could try to do everything in the best way possible. I love my family, my husband, my children, my mother, father, and my sisters. When they wanted something, I would try to do whatever. I could never say no. I always put my own wishes on the background, which caused me anxiety for a while, after a while. Homeopathy changed my life also. How does? Six, 8 years ago, I had a stiff back and sciatica, and without thinking, I went to the Sevgi Hanım, who was my teacher and my homeopathic doctor also. So I started homeopathic treatment myself. When I look back now, I have observed that many of my complaints have passed. Just like an onion peel. Now I can accept events and people as they are. I am very cheerful, lively, energetic person, saying things I cannot do and asking for help from my relatives. I'm not trying to take care of everything. I feel happier when I take the time to do things I love. My fragility have decreased. When someone upset me or I am broken, I can tell the person in front of me that easily. I do not collect it inside me. Whenever I feel bad or observe that my old complaints are coming back, I go to the Sevgi Postoğlu every 1 or 2 months regularly. I feel good and lightened when she gives the remedy of me. During these 10 years, I undertook the treatment of my relatives and my friends who requested homeopathic help from me. However, the year 2020 has been one of the most important years for me. Last year, I realized the benefits of homeopathic training I had and all courses I attended. At the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic period, my father was infected with the COVID-19 infection. My father is 87 years old and he hasn't had a major health problem until this age. He had only hypertension for the last 7 or 8 years and takes his allopathic medicine. He was hospitalized for 4 months, 2 months in intensive care and 2 months in palliative care. He was intubated 3 times in intensive care. He had sepsis 4 times. His stay in intensive care was prolonged due to the myocarditis and acute renal failure. Allopathic treatment was applied in the hospital, but I visited him 3 or 4 times a day and supported him with homeopathic treatment and helped him overcome this difficult process. Every time I went, I observed my father very well and noted even the slightest finding objectively and followed up with Sevgi Postoğlu during the intensive care period. When my father went from intensive care to palliative care, Sevgi Postoğlu supported me by saying that I could follow him alone. During his stay in palliative care, I arranged my father's homeopathic treatment. When I had difficulty, I got support from my close homeopath friends. Every day, my father received the allopathic treatment given by the hospital doctors, and I gave homeopathic remedy to my father. I learned from this process that coronavirus is moving very fast. I had to be faster than it, think faster and act faster in order to defeat it. Let me share a memory on this topic. Those were the days when my father developed a kidney failure in intensive care. That morning, as a result of my father's physical symptoms, blood test and urine analysis, we started ammonium carbonicum C30 homeopathically for the first time. I gave the remedy watery potency. The remedy worked well, and my father was fine when I went to noon. However, during my evening visit, I felt that something was wrong with my father and told Sevgi Hanım that this medicine has done its duty, but I think its effect is over now. It is not working. She also told me to wait. I looked online at 9 p.m. o'clock in the evening at my father's blood gas, oxygen saturation, and other blood analysis resulted. The oxygen saturation has decreased. The saturation from 92, 93 in the morning had developed to 70. Immediately called Sevgi Hanım again. She told me to go back to the hospital immediately and repeat the remedy we used last in the same dose. I quickly went to the hospital and gave my father Carbovegetalis C1000 watery potency. Hold his hand and said everything will be fine. Don't worry.
Hello, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt, but the time allotted for Turkey is 12 o'clock. So it's exceeded 13 minutes. So I would like you to wind up so fast so that the people from the Canada could also join.
I'm sure 1 minute later it's finished. I'm sure. Ayşe, it's finished. Is it finished?
Yeah, you can take 5 minutes. After that, you should hand over it to Canada.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ma'am, you can continue.
Can I go on? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You can go. It was just a reminder.
Okay.
Last minute, Ayşe.
Okay. When I saw my father's oxygen saturation rise from the machine, I was very relieved. However, the rate of increase slowed down to 84. Then I shake the remedy again 10 times and give him 1 more spoon again. Half an hour after the second dose, my father's oxygen saturation increased again to the 90-30. My father was relieved, and so I was. I'm very happy both because I applied what I learned about homeopathy and because I could heal people with homeopathy. Thank you all for listening to me.
Thank you, Ayşe. And thank you all of my colleagues, and create opportunities for enjoyment together. Bye.